Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 14. This is the start of season 3 with AC Capri, our Italian-created club here in FC 25. How's everyone doing? Who's excited for season 3? Let's kick things off with some new kits for AC Capri. As you probably saw there, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and you're enjoying what I'm doing here, and smash that like button to show your support for me. I appreciate all the support I've gotten through seasons 1 and 2. If you have missed them, you've missed a lot so far. This team has grown and shown off some real talent so far. We've had some magic moments. As always, it's been a lot of fun, but big things to come this season. In many ways, I think, big things to come. The board objective for the season is finished 10th or higher. We've gone from 19th to 15th in the last 2 years. This season has to be 10th or higher, and a lot of you are calling for maybe playoffs too. I think it's all possible with our new signing, but first thing we're gonna do is go over goal of the season and player of the season from season 2. And your goal of the season was Zachary Brolgiard's solo run in episode 9 and the toe poke to win the match for us. What a read from DiNapoli. Ofabor to Brolgiard. We have a chance to knock it forward here. Zachary Brolgiard. What a play here from the Canadian. Brolgiard is in on goal. Zachary Brolgiard! Are you kidding me? And as you saw showing off our new kits, our player of the season from season 2, you guys voted for Armando Echeverria, the young Argentinian who they're calling Echeradonna on the island of Capri. In credit to you guys, this is by far the closest vote we've ever had for player of the season in any of the series I have done. In general, very close vote. I literally would have been happy with any 4 of them winning it, but Armando was your choice. 5 goals, 8 assists, and he had some crazy moments again, only gonna get better. I'll go over the rest of the upgrades later in the episode. Mo Money was player of the episode from episode 13. He got some small upgrades, but again, I'm gonna go over all of the upgrades to players and changes that I've made from last season to this season, but Armando's gonna get +2 to his overall, as you see, to a 65. His potential is now a nice round 80 overall. That's a +5. I feel like very deserved for the 21-year-old, and I've added the press-proven playstyle to Echeradonna. But I don't think there's any more time to waste. Let's go make a signing. And I teased you at the end of last season that this dude is a true unicorn. He's 6'6", and you're gonna get to meet him now. It's Loquencio Zfike, or Zfok. Honestly, I don't know how Zfok you say this name. I have never been so excited to sign a guy after finding them on SoFIFA, which is, yes, that is how I scout for players, because I can really get into the nitty-gritty and find certain stats, and sometimes you just come across a gem like this. Listen, most guys who are 6'6" don't have the pace, or they don't have the ability. I mean, Haaland is definitely a unicorn himself. He's 6'5", and he's got everything you need, but for a low overall player who's 21, he's still got a bit of potential. Look at Loquencio Zfike, who's also got a just awesome name. You guys need to tell me how to say it. For sure, I'm gonna need some help there. But I am calling this dude the Dutch Unicorn for a good reason. Let's look at his stats. Look at this dude. 91 jumping. You are kidding me, Loquencio. He's got 82 sprint speed, 85 strength at this point. Even his stamina's good for a guy of this size. All of his stats are great that you want to be great. He can finish. He's got great dribbling. His shot power is awesome. Long shots are decent. Heading accuracy is decent. He's even got decent short passing. How is this guy only a 70 overall? I mean, also, look, you know what? Look at his highlights. This is him in real life. I watched these highlights and I was absolutely blown away. He looks like, with the right coaching, with the right development, an absolute star in the making. The size, the ability, the finishing, he looks so composed. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. I really have never been so excited to sign a player, and I told you, the board really wants us to improve, get 10th or higher this season. They're backing up Odell financially. This guy's gonna cost just around 3 million euros, maybe a little bit more, and that's gonna be our max budget for the season, really. But for one signing, this is the best one signing we could make, I feel like. So let's go make it. And Odell's gonna start off with an offer of 3 million. 3.2 million, 12% sell-on clause. You, my friend, have a deal. How could you ever give up a player like this? AC Capri's got a new star. And he's accepted Odell's offer. Pen has been put to paper. It's official. Shake those hands. Bring on the Dutch unicorn. The fans are already lining up on the streets of Capri. Now I know this makes you think, what about Mo Money, who was up for Player of the Season vote? He stepped in for Paz, he was great last season. Well, let's talk about that. When I decided to go for a dynamic striker to lead the front, to be that star up front for this team, I just think back to, and I would like to cite the Liverpool attack, which is working so well this season. Interchanging their front three, they've got options. If they have injuries, they can go to other guys. They have depth at the attack. Attacking depth is crucial for season-long success, shown by Man City in the past. Liverpool's doing it this season really well. And think about the idea of having Zfike and Mo Money as two aces.
So then we bring in another fella to help turn him back into an ace, and then that fella ends up being an ace himself. So now we got two aces.
They're not going to play next to each other, but when one needs a rest, the other can step in, and they're both great. And I think he's only going to make the players around him better. Echeverria, Bralt-Guillard, Rojas in our midfield. I could spend the entire rest of the episode just talking about Lequencio, but let's move on. Just a reminder that the Google Sheet exists. The Google Sheet has everything in here, including updated player records now. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Mo Money through 2 seasons is Capri's all-time leading goal scorer right now. It's all in here if you want to check that out. I'm going to put the transfer in there with Lequencio. Players are all up to date with overalls and potentials. I'm trying to do that in real time from this point on. And where we're currently at with our scouting reports. These are going to be the 3 for July, so you can see the rest of the series for now in terms of academy scouting assignments. It's time for the state of the squad, where we go over each player, changes to the overalls, changes to the potentials. Since we've now switched seasons, there's been summer training, some guys have gone on vacation, some guys have hit the gym in the summer. Let's go over each player in the squad, starting with Vasilis Vasiliadis, who I thought was decent last season, maybe not to the level of Luigi Rigatoni, but he still helped us advance in the cup with a penalty shootout. 61 overall, 66 potential for the now 24-year-old. Rigatoni, 20 years old, 63 overall, 76 potential. I didn't change that at all. That's where he was, that's where he's gonna stay. I thought his season was good last year, not as good as his first season, but in general he's still definitely our number one. Pablo Guzman out on loan, 58 overall, 76 potential at 18 years old. Giovanni Schiante, 62 overall, 70 potential still at 20 years old. I think he's been decent. I want to see a little bit more and start to make a decision whether I want to keep him or not. A lot of players this season are going to be under review, whether we want them for the future or not. That's really what this season is going to be a lot of, trying to see who we like better than other players. Leao Brito is going out on loan. 18 years old, he's 57 overall. He's got 80 potential though, pretty decent. Definitely the highest of our left backs. Not by much though. Shah Tom, 62 overall. He's got 79 potential, and I really liked what I saw from him last season. I think he's going to be our first choice left back this season. Only 17 years old too. The Malaysian is definitely one to watch this season. Calchidone Jones, the Maltese, is now 24 years old, 64 overall, 69 potential. Stays right there. And honestly, I thought he was very good last season. I thought he was fine. You gotta remember, he's one of the lower overall starting center backs in the Serie BKT, and I thought he played pretty well last season. He's not as good as Chiro, who's definitely the best center back on this team, but he was solid. Or what am I saying? It's probably Levan Demak. But anyways, Chiro, now a 67 overall. I bumped that up by 1. I bumped his potential up to a 68. He's right around his top potential at this point at 26. I really do love our captain, though. He puts in a good performance almost every time. Alfredo Di Napoli, I do really like Alfredo, but he's starting to get overshadowed by Levan Demak. He's 21 years old, 63 overall, 69 potential. I bumped that up by 1. Valentini out on loan, 58 overall, 73 potential. And then there's Levan Demak, the absolute story of our defense last season. What a player. He absolutely got upgraded from a 58 overall to a 61. I feel like his overall really needed to be the thing that changed. His potential went up from a 77 to a 78. I still feel like that's respectable. Rafael dos Santos is heading out on loan, 57 overall, 70 potential for the San Marino center back. And he grew an inch in height over the season, or maybe 2 inches, up to 6'1". Little growth spurt for Rafael. Arash is a 65 overall now. That is an upgrade by 1 overall. I think he deserves that at 23 years old. 73 potential, so he's starting to get into the second half of his career a little bit, and I've loved what I've seen from Arash defensively, so he got a good amount of upgrades to his defensive attributes, and in general, I think there's a lot more to come from him this season. He's never under trial. He was our first signing, and I think he's been solid, but maybe some more assists, maybe some more attacking threat from Arash this season. Same thing with Pedro Leguizamon. I do love Pedro when he comes in. He's a good spark plug at right back. Not necessarily the biggest threat defensively with his height, but in general, he's a 60 overall with 70 potential. That's where he stayed at 19 years old at this point. Nnamdi Ofabor was up for player of the season, easily could have won it in my opinion. He absolutely balled out, was a free player, did everything he had to do, really performed, and added some goals last season, which I thought was awesome. The theme with him and Sam Mbube that I'm really loving, both of them defensive midfielders that can get forward. They have the pace, the stamina to do it for the whole match, and that's really helped our attack last season for sure, you could tell. Nnamdi's got 70 potential, so just 2 more to grow by. He's almost at a 69, you see it in his progress bar. More to come from our star player. He really is kind of our star player at this point. Underrated beast, Samuel Mbube though. God, I love him, and I think he gets overshadowed by the amount of other players that step up, but he's always producing, making tackles, getting forward. He does have some defensive lapses from time to time, but who doesn't? Somebody's gonna have to. We love the South African here, but no changes to his overall or potential. He's a 65 overall with 75 potential. Akinola Akpan, the Nigerian defensive midfielder out on loan, 59 overall, 75 potential. Leandro Andrade, who I did call up from the academy and is now going to be our 4th choice midfielder behind El Grasso. He's going to jump Andrea Pizza in the rankings for who's going to play in the midfield this season. 6'4", 194. He could probably play a little bit of center back, but I like his ability to get forward and be kind of a box-to-box tank. So we're going to see what we get out of Andrade this season. This is a test for him. The 17-year-old's got 76 potential. Speaking of Michelangelo Del Grasso, he's our 3rd choice midfielder behind Ofabor and Mbube, and I think he's so solid. I really do. 69 potential for the 24-year-old. Andrea Pizza is loan listed. He's 20 years old. He hasn't necessarily impressed so far, and yes, he can maybe play attacking mid or center mid, but we've got so many options there now that I want to try out. We'll see what happens with Andrea Pizza. Camilo Biaggi is heading out on loan, 55 overall. He's got 80 potential. Henrik Skov has been absolutely balling out on his loan. I think he grew by 5 or 6 overall last season. 58 overall, 85 potential. One of the highest potentials at AC Capri. The 17-year-old, I think, just looks like a future baller for sure. Already talked about him. Player of the season, Armando Echeredona. Very excited for some more action from him. How about Samuele Martino, who I also think is a baller. Gave him an upgrade to his overall from a 58 to a 59. His potential also sits at 80, and I think he's our brightest Italian prospect at the club. I have a lot of confidence giving Armando days off for Samuele Martino, and I think that speaks a lot to how good Titano impressed me last season. Gianmarco Ricci is back from his loan, and he's gonna go right back out the door on another loan. I don't really know if he's gonna get a lot of playing time. If he were to stay, only 68 potential, so more loans for Gianmarco. And you see I called up Emiliano Poli, but honestly, that is just to sell him. I think he's only worth like 400k. Whatever he's worth, it's just going to be added cash for Capri. I don't really see a future for Emiliano Poli at this club. Santana Scott, the Jamaican in the squad, Odell's been trying to give him playing time and he just hasn't produced as much as we'd like. First season he scored 5 goals, only 1 last season. He didn't get quite as much playing time because of Ferrari and Rojas, honestly just outperforming him. So this is definitely a trial season for Santana Scott to see how it goes. Knowing that he's Jamaican though, I don't see him leaving the club anytime soon, especially with Odell. Maybe he'll go out on loan after this season. 68 potential for Santana Scott. Giuseppe Ferrari, 75 potential, was the highest at the club when we started this series. I still think he has 75 potential earned. He definitely shows signs of it in game. I absolutely want to see more from him this season as he goes with Santi Rojas off of the left side. We'll see more from Giuseppe for sure. Miguel Lala, the Trinidad winger, is heading out on loan. We called him up, 56 overall, only 74 potential, and I'm hoping he gets a bit of a boost from going out on loan, because Omar Elmi went up by 2 or 3 overall when we sent him out on loan. That glitch is still around, and just in terms of Omar Elmi, who has 80 potential and he does look pretty decent, knowing Liban Damak is also a Somali star in our squad, he's the kind of player that when we bring him back from loan, I might sell him to use for cash, to be honest. No offense to him, but we have a lot of players in this squad right now, and some of them just may have to go. Santiago Rojas, or Santiro. I like that nickname. Saw it in the comments. Combination of his first and last name, and it does sound Italian, Santiro. Well, there's not much to say about him. We love him. 88 potential, highest at the squad. He's brilliant. He's a baller. Looking forward to a big season from our Mexican future star, Zachary Brockyard, the other CONCACAF star in this squad, is now 27. He's truly in the prime of his career, and he led the club in goals and assists last season, so his 68 potential, which was his original potential when we signed him, is now going up to a 70, so we're giving him a little bit more room to grow, and I think he totally deserves it. I also decided to add some play styles to this baller's resume. I added technical and quick step, and maybe I added rapid. I honestly forget. I've been doing a lot of work for this series, but we love ZBG. Echo Saran, I love him. I think he's great at right wing or attacking mid. We tried him out at attacking mid a little bit last season, and I think that was a successful test. So more from him this season, just kind of mixed in throughout the attack. He's just got a good feel for the game. I do like Echo. Still has 70 potential. Luca Fontana has been enjoying his loan for sure, up to a 58 overall, 71 potential for the Italian, who's 19 years old now, and he's the kind of player like Omar Elmi that we might sell eventually, but for now, loan life is his life. My god, I love LaQuincio. I haven't even seen him play. I just think he's going to be incredible, and it's definitely going to hurt Paz Castellano, I'm sorry to say. So this absolutely is the biggest trial season for any of the players at the club. If Paz wants to stay at the club and have a future, I just want to see him produce as a third option at striker, which is tough to say for his future what it looks like, but he can mix in an attacking mid maybe. I know maybe in the cup still mix in at striker. He definitely played decently last year, but I think missing half a season hurt him because Mo Money was so good for that half season. This isn't punishment for Mo Money in any way that we signed LaQuincio. I just think this is going to fuel his fire. I do want to see him a lot. I think we can get him into almost every game we play late on and really save the stamina of our strikers, and once in a while start pause and hope he scores. But I just think this was the right move for the future. I think if we're going to take that next step and start to think about the playoffs, promotion, we need a guy like this up front who's a little bit more reliable. And then we've got Paddy Pringle from Scotland, the 16-year-old. Forgive me for trying that accent, but he does look awesome. He's got 82 potential. We have signed a really good academy player here. He's heading out on loan as well. And I've got some new players to show off in the academy that we signed in June. Now it's July, we'll be sending out new scouts, but from Haiti, we've got the center back, Willie Rouvière. High potential, pretty low overall, but he is 15. Looks like he could end up being really good. One of the higher pace ratings I've seen out of a center back in the academy so far this year. And then we've got this dude from Algeria, Kareem Wadoud. Talk about this dude. High potential range. Really liking that's looking good. He's only a 55 overall right now, but he looks like the kind of player that'll be fun to use. Even if he wants to get called up eventually and we get a loan glitch with him, he could be a future of the midfield kind of player. player for this club, although we haven't even seen him play. In other news, Tavita Tukuafu is now a 51 overall central midfielder. I changed him from a CDM to a central midfielder, which gave him a little bit of a bump in overall. And I'm sure you see we've brought in a striker too from Libya, 6'4", Abdallah Matoub. This guy looks like a beast as well. He's not very pacey, but I like his height and ability. Could really just add a different feel at striker in the future, even though we just brought in a 6'6" guy. Abdallah Matoub could be the future LaQuincio, who knows? And we've got our first scouting assignments to show off. For the new season, Quack Gun's going to Malta to look for center backs and right wings. Azizi Rahman's heading to India to look for anybody on the right side and center backs. And Dongchi is heading to Lithuania to look for center backs, defensive mids, and central midfielders. I think what's funny now is we're pretty set at every position, probably for the future. We kind of just have to wait. So with these scouting reports at this point, I'm truly looking for like high overall players with high potential at this point, because we do have a bunch of lower overall players with high potential. Only way we're gonna beat that is with higher overalls. So I might be a little bit more picky with the academy from this point on. You see Andrea Pizza's packed his bags. He's out on loan for 1 year to, I don't know what club this is. It's Kazim Pasa. Gianmarco Ricci is also out on his way on loan, and Emiliano Poli sold for 500k, which I believe is a little bit over his value. Nice job by us. May I just say, simming in this year in the menus, simming is terrible. It's the worst simming experience I've ever had. It goes so slowly this year in career mode. And without further ado, it is match day number 1. We're facing Hellas Verona, who have, again, on opening day, been relegated from the Serie A. I feel like we always face the highest overall team in the league to start. But you see their lineup, it's very good. A 78 overall striker, Suat Serdar's good, 77. Absolutely a test today on the road. We're gonna send out our highest overall lineup. Definitely gonna look to mix it up in the second half a little bit. It's the first match of the season, probably not gonna go perfectly, but we get to show off our new kits and our brand new shiny signing. It's LaQuincio Z Fikes breakout scenario. What we always do, a 7.0 rating or higher on debut, and he would get +1 to his potential, which currently sits at a 78. Couldn't be more excited for this debut. Season number 3 about to kick off. Let's get into it. Andiamo, Forza Capri. Oh my god, look at LaQuincio. He's just so large out there. Intercepted by Calcidone. Great start to the season. Calcidone wins it back again here. Come on. Forward quickly. Echeverria to Z-Fight. Can't get by that man. Rojas. Working it well. They're tackling strong. Echeverria. Mbube to Z-Fight, who takes a touch and it's blocked. Could have been a first goal. First shot, though. Might be a chance here for Santiago Rojas, who takes the shot on. Might have been able to keep going, but that is a blistering effort. Ofabor. Good dribbling here. Namdi Ofabor opens his body up and puts it wide. Oh, Armando with the defending. That's your player of the season right there. And now the dribbling. Armando forward with it. Still with it. Armando here. He's going to take the shot on off the face of the defender. Right at him. Great passing here. Calcidone quick to react and get across. That's great defending from the Maltese. Oh my god, Arash. It might be a foul, but that was a great foul. It's going to come to a chance anyways. Luigi comes out and saves it. Oh, Luigi. Oh my god, Luigi. I was like, you know what? I was going to let him take the long shot, but still, you never know how good it's going to be. See if we can just get this to LaQuincio and let him use his big head there. Oh, Armando pressuring well. And the ref blows for halftime right as he wins it back. No score. Definitely early season jitters, as we always feel, but I want to get LaQuincio involved more. I can feel his presence out there. At least you can see it. Chiro, look at Chiro jump. Armando tries to win a header. Brocchiard does win a header. And Z-Fike has it. LaQuincio trying to attack the defense. He's big, he's fast, but he's so big that it's kind of awkward. Namdi wins it back. Namdi gets it back. Going forward is the Nigerian. Look at Namdi Ofabor go. In the middle to Armando. Back to Namdi. God, the strength is so good, but they've got numbers coming at him. An easy interception there from Chiro. Come on. And Bube thinking about going forward. Doing well so far. Broke the yard. Off to Echeverria. Gets the pass off. Rojas. Finesse. Save. Block. I don't know. Chiro. That is absolutely brilliant. So good there. And forward we come. LaQuincio Z-Fike is in on goal. Oh, he tried to Travella and he missed. It was calm. It was on target. It's a great save, but I thought since he had that trait, that would have looked a lot better. Rojas, good dribbling here. Shoots it forward to Mbube. Sam Mbube spots the run of Z-Fike, who's in again. This time he finishes. LaQuincio Z-Fike is everywhere. Sam Mbube with the perfect pass, through ball, and how could he miss that one? LaQuincio taking it to a good Hellas Verona team, and he's just that good. He's making them look like they're worse, but they are clearly higher overall. And we're going to take him off to a round of applause from the away fans. Mo Money comes on, as does Echo Saran and crew. Chiro winning it back, and it's a chance to go forward for Capri. Mo Money has it here. Off to Echo Saran. Brilliant from Echo Saran, and Mo Money is tackled. Chiro, that was just a ridiculous touch. And there is the final whistle here on the road. Capri shut out Hellas Verona, a clean sheet, and a goal for your debut man, LaQuincio Z-Fike. Z-Fuck, what a player. Great match overall, more possession for Capri, same amount of shots, and this is against the higher overall team as you saw. Match ratings wise, Armando was outstanding, Luigi was outstanding, LaQuincio got an 8.0, give him +1 to his potential, and Mbube and Ofabor ran that midfield again. Great assist from Sam Mbube today. Chiro led our defense, got us a clean sheet on opening day, and I think there's only more good things to come from this squad. We're definitely going to lose still, but progression is the name of this season. 10th or higher is the goal. I think we're going to crush that goal. It could be a playoff season for Capri. Who knows? Only way we're going to find out is if you stick around, so make sure you do stick around next episode. And until then, this has been Therios. You'll never walk alone.